Hello, happy Friday. How's everybody doing? I know that my voice does not sound as clear as it could. I feel totally fine, but I have somehow lost my voice during the week. So I actually have my mic a little bit closer to me today in the hopes that it will sound a little bit better on your end. I do think it ends up being kind of clear, but I'm gonna power through it because I wanted to go on here and talk about this today. I wanted to help. We'll see what happens. If I have to redo it, I have to redo it. And if it just gets to the point where no one can understand anything I'm saying, I will just, come back when I feel better. I feel fine, but for some reason, I don't have a voice. So, probably too much talking. But if you are on live, say hi. Definitely ask questions. I am all about helping while I'm here to, live to be able to help. And if you are watching the replay, hashtag replay, so I can come back and say thank you for watching. I am really, really thrilled to be here. First of all, if you don't know who I am, you've never seen any of my lives, my name is Allison Nelson. I am a business coach, and I am one of the experts here inside of Ucoachia, which has been an incredible, thrilling experience. So I definitely recommend you looking into it a little bit more, because as valuable as these lives are, and they are, I've watched all the experts' lives. They are very, very valuable. There's even more amazing stuff and more personal attention going on inside of Ucoachia. So definitely make sure you check that out. Talk to Nancy, talk to Harley. Those two ladies are just incredible. I actually think I would get a slap across the face virtually if they knew that I was on here sounding like this, because they want me to rest and they want me to be my best. So, I will rest after this, Nancy and Harley, I promise. So today we're talking about abundance and scarcity mindset. And this is so, so important to grasp and to understand when it comes to growing your online business, your coaching business, growing your marketing. And the reason is because if you are a coach, first of all, you've probably likely been taught this concept, maybe in a different way, depending on what your coaching certificate is. But you've likely been taught the concept of abundance versus scarcity in how you help your clients understand it for themselves, right? So whether you're a fitness coach or you're a parenting coach or anything in between, you have definitely learned this at some point in your journey to help others. And so it is really valuable to turn it around and to help yourself understand it as well. So that's why I am so I believe so strongly in, really honing this abundance mindset and this, really pushing away this scarcity mindset. And the other truth is, honestly, that this comes and goes, right? The other truth is that this is something that we need to work on all the time, right? So, you might be doing great, having this abundance mindset, then you go into a launch and it's maybe not going the way you planned for it. And all of a sudden, these scarcity, lack thoughts start coming in. So just so we're clear on the on the vocabulary, let's say, because sometimes when I teach abundance and scarcity, I use scarcity and lack interchangeably. Scarcity and lack being the same thing, right? Seeing that there is not, when actually you could choose to see abundance where there is, right? So that's really the difference. That's your vocab lesson for the day. But I do use scarcity and lack interchangeably, and I apologize in advance if that is going to throw you off. Hi, Tracy. So abundance, super, super important to embrace when it comes to your business. Scarcity is what you feel when you feel like you're burnt out, you're constantly chasing your tail. Maybe you always feel like there's nobody in your funnel to sell to, nobody to speak to, nobody who's interested in your thing. Maybe you've been getting a lot of no's. Maybe you've been going live and nobody's been watching your lives, right? If you've ever said or had the thought, no one's going to buy this, then that's, scarcity mindset, scarcity mindset. If you've said that to yourself, if you said, I can't seem to find any clients, then you're acting out of this scarcity mindset. But on the flip side of abundance is what you feel when you don't really see an end to possibilities. So if you've ever acted in abundance, it might look like, bringing value to your audience, period, for nothing in return, right? A lot of people ask me as a business coach, this is a very popular question. When do I know, like, how do I know when to give something away for free or to package it up and sell it? Like, how do I know what should be free and what should be paid? And I think that's a huge example of this abundance and scarcity mindset really fighting with each other inside of your brain, because before I give strategy or my answer to that question around it, it's so personalized for me because I always want to make sure that that person's mindset is in the right place. So that's what I really want to do with you today. And I'm going to use an analogy of food because food's great to describe this. And also I'm a native New Yorker, so I'm going to be using pizza to describe this analogy of scarcity and abundance. So let's imagine a really beautiful and delicious pizza pie, and it's got 8 slices in it, right? That's typical. When you order pizza, you get a pizza and it's got 8 slices. So let's imagine that this pizza pie is everything you want for your business. It's got your ideal clients. It's got the offers you want. It's got, the marketing channels you want to have. It's got everything in there that you want for your business, right? And then if you see someone doing something similar in your space, and honestly, that is going to happen, right? There's so many of us in this space, and we're going to run into people who do similar things. That's just what it is, right? So if you see someone similar in your space, you might feel like, maybe they're kind of taking away some of your pie, some of your slices, right? And your slices are kind of disappearing. So what happens as you maybe see your pizza, like the pizza was meant for you, being eaten by someone else, right? Your ideal clients are going to that person, or that person at least is getting ideal clients that you would like to have. That person has the downloads on the podcast. That person has, the group program that you want to have, right? And the enrollment that you want. So when that happens, when you see that happening, you might feel resentment. I know for me, at least in the past, I've felt imposter syndrome. I'm not good enough. I'm just a fraud. Someone else has noticed that I'm not actually an expert, and they're going to this person who is, right? And that might even start to affect other things like collaborations or referral partners or relationship building, because now you've got a wall up around your pizza, like, don't touch my pizza, right? Like, that's mine. Everyone's out to get my pizza slices. And abundance mindset entrepreneurs don't care that their pizza might not be there or whatever. Like, they don't sweat the pizza being eaten. And the reason is because they create a win-win situation for themselves by constantly adding pizza pies to their plate. Like, people with an abundance mindset don't think there's 8 slices in one pie. Like I said before, they know there's 8 slices in one pie. Like, they know that intellectually, but they don't see that that gets, decimated and it can't be replaced, right? They think there's a million slices in each pie. They think the world is full of dough and sauce and cheese and all the things you need to make pizza, that they think they have their own freaking brick oven, right? And they could just, they have the power to just make new pizza pies whenever they want. So that's the difference. That's how we bridge the gap. And the way that we do that is that we add to our audience by investing in them. So when we're generous to our audience in that abundance mindset of I have so much to give, as opposed to I'm going to give this, but only a little bit, because it's free. So when we're generous to our audience, it gives us that street cred. I like to use the word street cred instead of authenticity, because that got overused. Our word on the street basically is she's giving things away for free. Like she's pouring into us. It's not oh, let's go over here. She's giving stuff away for free, and we're gonna see what that's all about, and we're gonna take some of it, or we're gonna take advantage of her. No, it's she's pouring into us. She's letting us make shifts in our lives without asking for much. She's asking for an email address, or to be a part of her world in some way, like her Facebook group or a follower on Instagram or whatever it is. And then she gets to build a relationship with us. She's asking for, she's giving, right? She's giving. And so then she gets the permission to help us because she's giving. So investing in your people, with what you have to offer, right? With like the thing that you have to offer, investing in them helps you build that following. It helps you help people, which, by the way, remember what you got into this for, right? Like the reason you got into this, your motivation has to be more than your bad thoughts, right? It has to be more than your scarce and your lack thoughts. And then it, of course, builds your street cred so that you start to get visible with the right people, because they're like, oh, that's Allison over there. She's doing this for free. Like she does this, she does that. Sorry. And she wants to pour into us, right? And so when she pours into me, I'm probably going to trust her more, and I'm going to give her the permission to help me. And then she's going to nurture me, and I'm going to eventually work with her. Like, that your clients aren't saying this, but that's basically what happens, right? So you might be thinking, just a disclaimer, you might be thinking, okay, you're talking a lot about giving stuff away for free. It's like, if I give things away for free, I don't have a business, right? Like if I'm not making money, I don't have a business. Yes, I have said this before to my audience. They don't like it because usually on the back end, I'm talking about how they have to sell every day. And they don't like hearing me say that. They don't want me to say that to them. But sorry. I'm not saying that like you should give stuff away for free and never sell. That is not my intention at all. I truly believe, though, that if you give value, if you inspire people, if you tell stories, if you teach, right, they can see that they are making moves, they are making shifts, and you are getting that permission, right? You are leading, and you are leading them to the transformation that they want, that maybe they haven't even been able to completely picture, and they didn't know how to get there without you. And then at that point, you can ask for the sale. You should ask for the sale. I want you to ask for the sale. I think that's abundant too, right? I think when you don't ask for the sale, you are staying in a scarcity mindset of like, well, they probably like my free stuff, but they would never pay, to work with me. That's a scarcity mindset. That's a lack mindset, right? And then of course, on top of that, you also don't have a business. But if you're like living in abundance, you're saying, look, like I'm going to give them this so that they can get from here to here. And then I'm going to give them this, and then I'm going to work with them here. And then like, in order to finish off the transformation, they need some skin in the game, and me offering this is the right thing to do. It's the inclusive thing to do, to offer this so that they know that like I'm serious about walking with them through this transformation. I'm not just trying to get like a buck here and there. Like that's abundant. And that's an abundant way of thinking, because you're trying to make the world a better place, right? And then of course, good things happen when you put good out into the world. Good things happen to you as well, right? Making money for you means a better life for you and your family. But it starts here. It starts by investing in people and living in this world of abundance of when I give, I receive. And not when I give, I should get something back. And if I don't, I'm not going to give as much anymore. Like that's kind of like when you give someone a present and then you tell them exactly what to do with the present, and you're mad when they don't do exactly what you wanted them to do with it. Like you gave them a present with strings attached. Like that's a strings attached kind of mentality. When we give in our coaching business, when we pour into people, we have to do it without strings attached. That's an abundant lifestyle. That's a lifestyle of there's so much here that of course I'm going to give, because I'm not depleting when I give. When I give, I am actually just getting back, and it's filling up my cup more. When I give, like I give from the overflow because I don't deplete. Because when I give from the overflow, my cup is still full no matter what. Right? But scarcity is like, okay, I'll give you a cup of water, but like, if I don't get a cup back, or like a cup and a half back, then like it's not worth it. I'm not going to do it again, And I think like relating this to business, I think sometimes when you're going into a launch, you're like, okay, well, if I don't get 5 people, forget it. Like I'm not going to launch this again. And it's like, it's a scarcity mindset, right? Like instead, I would rather you believe like, okay, let's see what happens. Like I'm going to give it my all, right? I'm going to help these people. All of my launch efforts are going to be for helping people. They're going to be showing people how I can help them further when they work with me, right? And let's see if this works, as opposed to like, well, if this doesn't work, forget it. Because you're starting off with a lack mindset already, and that doesn't help. And that actually does shine through in your marketing. I never used to believe that, but I can see it now. Like, whenever I've had that thought, I can look back and be like, oh yeah, like I should have maybe, I should have maybe like had a different thought before I started launching. And that's why sometimes I like to launch in like almost surprise mode to myself, more to my clients, more to my audience, just, let me just see, let's see how this works. I feel like I could take a couple extra one-to-ones. Let's see how this works. Right. That's an abundance mindset. So, living in this world of abundance mindset is can be hard in a digital world, right? Where everything is just, it's harder to stand out. It's harder to, get audience members. It's harder to get email addresses now. Our clients are so much smarter than they used to be. They get how it works, right? They get it, like they get the jig. And so being yourself is seriously the only way. It's the only way to stand out. There's no more like, better hashtag strategy or better reel strategy. Like, forget it. That's over, right? Like, just being yourself is the only way. And, people are attracted to others who are like, oh yeah, I'm giving from the overflow. I've got a lot for you. And you're not going to deplete me. Like, I'm going to be able to pour into you, and I'm still going to be a good leader because I'm not poured out, So, all right, I hope this was helpful in breaking down some of that scarcity and that lack mindset kind of thinking. Just going to check the comments. Okay, we've got nothing. All right, guys, leave me your questions if you have them, but I'm going to go and rest this voice, and I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great day.